Hey there, welcome back to Understanding Depression, a space where we talk openly, kindly, and thoughtfully about mental health, especially depression. Thank you for choosing to listen today. Whether you're here out of curiosity, personal experience, or because you care about someone who's struggling, I'm truly grateful you're here. Now, I want to invite you to stay with me until the end of this episode. This might be one of the most important conversations we've had, because today we're diving deep into something that silently, but powerfully, affects millions of lives around the world. Stigma. We'll talk about what stigma really is, the harm it causes, and most importantly, we'll separate myths from facts about depression. And yes, I'll also share real-life examples to help us understand that depression doesn't look like one single thing. It's complex, it's real, and it deserves to be taken seriously. So take a breath, settle in, and let's have this conversation together. Let's start by understanding what we actually mean when we say stigma. Stigma is like a shadow. It follows, it lingers, and it colors how people see you, even when you're doing your best to shine. In mental health, stigma refers to the negative stereotypes, judgment, and social disapproval directed toward people who live with mental health conditions. It's when someone says, "Just cheer up, it's all in your head," or "You don't look depressed, so you must be fine," or even worse, "You're just being dramatic." But here's the thing, these aren't just passing comments. They hurt, they isolate, they prevent people from speaking up, from seeking help, from healing. Imagine this. You're drowning silently in a storm of hopelessness, but every time you reach out, someone tells you the water isn't real. That's what stigma does. It silences. And silence, when it comes to mental health, can be dangerous. So as we go deeper, I invite you to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because behind every statistic about depression, there's a person, maybe someone you love. Maybe someone who looks like they have it all together. Maybe it's even you. Let's dive into some of the most common myths about depression. These are ideas many people believe, sometimes without even realizing it. But when we believe myths, we hurt people, even when we don't mean to. So let's take a mindful pause together. Let's breathe, and let's open our minds. Myth number 1. Depression is just sadness. Fact: sadness is a normal emotion. Depression is a clinical disorder. When we say someone has depression, we're not just talking about having a bad day or feeling down. We're talking about a condition that affects how a person thinks, feels, and functions, often for weeks, months, or even years. It's like a fog that doesn't lift. Someone might feel empty, numb, or hopeless, not because something bad just happened, but because their brain chemistry, environment, and past experiences are affecting their mental state. Here's an example. Let's talk about Emma. Emma is a university student. She used to be cheerful, active, and always excited about her studies. But over the past few months, she stopped showing up to class. She lies in bed most of the day, not because she's lazy, but because getting up feels like climbing a mountain. She used to enjoy painting, but now, even holding a brush feels meaningless. People around her say, maybe she's just being moody, or she'll bounce back soon. But Emma's not just sad. She's struggling with depression, and what she needs is compassion, not judgment. So if you're listening and you've ever felt like Emma, you're not alone, and what you're going through is valid. Let's move on. Myth number 2. People with depression are weak. Fact: experiencing depression doesn't mean someone is weak. In fact, many people with depression show incredible strength just by getting through the day. Think about it. Imagine trying to go to work, take care of your family, or even just take a shower when your brain is telling you you're worthless, hopeless, and that nothing matters. That takes resilience. Let me introduce you to Jake. Jake is a single father of 2. He wakes up every day at 5 a.m. to prepare his kids for school and then works a full-time job. On the outside, he seems fine, but inside, he's battling negative thoughts, low energy, and emotional exhaustion. Some days, just making it through work and dinner feels like surviving a storm. Is Jake weak? Absolutely not.
Est surviving something invisible.
And he's doing it with courage, even when nobody sees it. If you're feeling this way, I want you to hear this. Your strength may not look flashy. It might not get applause, but it's real, and it matters. Myth number 3. Talking about depression will make it worse. Fact. Talking about depression often makes it better. Silence is what makes depression worse. When people are afraid to speak up, they carry the weight alone, and that isolation can make symptoms even heavier. Imagine if someone had a broken leg, but never told anyone, never got a cast, never asked for help. It would only get worse, right? The same goes for our mental health. Here's a story about Rachel. Rachel struggled with depression for years, but never told her friends or family. She was afraid they'd think she was being dramatic or seeking attention. Eventually, things got so heavy that she had to reach out. She talked to her sister, and later, a therapist. To her surprise, her sister didn't judge her. Instead, she said, "I wish you'd told me sooner. I'm here." That conversation was a turning point. No, it didn't magically fix everything overnight, but it started her journey toward healing. So let's be mindful of this. By opening up and listening with empathy, we make it easier for others to speak up too. Myth number 4. You can always tell when someone is depressed. Fact. Depression doesn't always look like sadness or tears. Sometimes it looks like laughter, or working overtime, or being the funny one in the group. Many people hide their pain behind a mask, because stigma tells them they have to. That's why it's so important to create safe spaces, at work, at home, in our communities, where people feel they can be real. Here's a powerful example. Daniel was the life of the party, always smiling, cracking jokes, helping others. But what people didn't know was that he cried almost every night, feeling empty and unseen. When he finally shared his struggles with a close friend, their reaction was, "But you're always so happy." Daniel said, "Exactly. That's how I coped." We can't assume we know what someone's going through just by looking. So let's choose compassion over assumptions. And let's remind each other that it's okay not to be okay, even when you're smiling on the outside. Now, let's talk about where stigma really comes from. Sometimes it's fear of what we don't understand. Sometimes it's culture or upbringing. Sometimes it's misinformation that's been passed down for years. Whatever the reason, it's something we can unlearn together. And that starts with education, with conversations like this one. It starts with listening, with challenging our own assumptions. Because the truth is, depression is real. It's not a weakness. It's not attention-seeking. It's not something you can just snap out of. It's an illness. And like any illness, it needs care, not shame. So if someone you know is struggling, listen to them. Believe them. Ask how you can support them. And if you're struggling, please know, you deserve support. You are not broken. You are not a burden. And I hope, even just a little, this episode is helping you feel seen. As we close this episode, I want to thank you for staying with me. It's not always easy to talk about stigma, but these conversations matter. They save lives. They create space for healing. Let's continue to question the myths. Let's keep talking openly. Let's build a world where mental health is treated with the same care and compassion as physical health. And if you found this episode helpful, I invite you to share it with someone. You never know who might need to hear these words today. Be kind to others and to yourself. Until next time, Take care and keep walking gently through the world. You're doing better than you think. Thank you for listening to Understanding Depression.